Hey everybody, it's Mike coming to you from Vaught RV here in Fort Worth, Texas. Let's talk about a lightweight couples camper. Right behind me is a Jayfeather 24RL. This guy is just a little bit over 28 feet long, 5,500 pounds unloaded weight. So yes, you can pull this with really any half-ton pickup truck, possibly even a large SUV. Now, this is a true couples camper in that there's no bunks in it, but there are convertible sleeping spaces in the event that you have a kid, grandkid, or friends along with you, and we'll get to that in just a minute. Let's take a walk around on the outside before we go on the inside and show off some of the neat features. Now, as is true with all the Jayfeathers, these are fiberglass exterior. It's vacuum bonded, something that Jayco does exclusively. So that means there's 144 tons of pressure for 16 minutes on this entire wall assembly. That means that chances are this thing's never going to become delaminated, which will obviously tank your resale value. It's a quality thing that Jayco does and something that's adds value to you and resale value to you. Now we've got wonderful pass-through storage. It goes through all the way to the other side. It's clean, it's lighted. I've got a light up here. I've got AC power here, so I've got power accessible out to the patio side. And then this little toggle switch right here switches the lights on and off up front, which are LED marine grade marker lights. I'll show those in a second. You always see these things in units, and I don't always explain what they are, and I should. This one is to lower your jacks down, all right? So it's as simple as this. If you wanna do it quicker, just get a cordless drill with a 3/4 inch driver and zip it down in no time flat. You'll also have one of these, and this you'll have in the unlikely event that this tongue jack ever were to fail, or your batteries were dead, or something went awry with your motor. Pop this grommet out, pop this in there, and now you can still crank the jack up and down manually. So at least you're not stranded and you can get on with your trip. That's what this one's for. Now I have two 30-pound propane bottles up front. Obviously pointed out our electric tongue jack that's also lighted here, but I've got two 30-pound propane bottles, and then behind it we have our battery tray. This will come standard with one battery. You can add a second battery in parallel if you'd like to do that. Now notice our nice molded front fiberglass cap. These are marine grade LED marker lights. Kind of hard to see out here. They're really neat blue color, and then you've got these markers in front, again, which are switched in the storage compartment. Now I got solar on the side here. There's solar up on top on this unit already, but you can also put a modular solar panel out here. So if you're parked under a shade canopy, and a lot of us like to do that, you can pop in a modular solar panel and run it out where you're catching some rays and charge your batteries with that. More on that in a minute. Got our diamond plating up here, which helps protect the front from chips and rocks and so on during travel. The opposite side of our pass-through storage here, nice and clean. This is the battery disconnect, so if you're gonna store this unit for a little while, just hit that battery disconnect, and that will keep your batteries from discharging with any kind of parasitic draw over time. Easy enough just to do that. Of course, we have a light on this side too. Now we're prepped for side cameras as well as rear cameras. So if you want to add side cameras here, it's prepped for that, and that camera assembly would just fit right in there. Coming back to this area, we have an outdoor shower, which is both hot and cold. This is your main city water connection. It threads on with a hose that you'll have specifically for drinking water only. Up here, this looks like the same kind of thing, except this is a tank flush valve for your black tank. Best practice is when you're breaking camp, ready to go home, pull your holding tank valves open, put a separate hose on this, turn it on, and let it run while you're putting away the lawn chairs, rolling in the awning and whatever. What this is doing is spraying the inside of your black tank to keep it clean. It's just a good practice to do, especially after you've used the unit and you're going to store it for a little while. Everything's nicely labeled, so we have our black holding tank valve here, gray holding tank. Black is black, gray is gray, and they terminate right here. Pop this open into your sewer fitting and you're good to go. Coming around to the back side, we have our detachable 30 amp power cord right here. It's 30 amp service. So we've got one AC unit on this unit, 15K single AC unit. Now we're in Texas and it gets hot here, and a lot of people are concerned when there's just one AC unit on any given trailer. When you're in a sort of 25 to 28 foot long or less unit, it's pretty common to have one AC. We try to upgrade the size of our AC units whenever possible to keep you as comfortable as possible. It's unusual to get a 25 or a 22 foot unit with 2 AC units. It's a little bit overkill, even here in Texas. But anyway, just know that we're mindful of that. We want to make sure you're comfortable while you're out using this. Cable and satellite input right here. So if you have cable provided at your campground or resort, and many of them do, pop it in there, and then you'll have cable on the inside of the coach as well as the patio side. Now we are prepped for the camera up there. So it's a plug and play situation. Pop that cover off and you can have a rear camera installed. You'll be able to see that camera on a little 5-inch monitor that'll live up in the dash of your truck when you're going down the road. If you have side cameras, you'll be seeing those same camera views on that same monitor. Full-size Goodyear tire right here in the back, spare tire. Jayco always gives you a full-size Goodyear spare. Now, Jayco is the only manufacturer that puts Goodyear endurance tires on all their units, and they're all warranted for 6 years, which is a fantastic warranty. When you combine that tire warranty with Jayco's already industry-leading warranty, which is a 2+3 warranty, 2 years covering the components of the coach, 3 years structural, and then to top it all off, literally, the roofing membrane is warranted for 20 years. So all those things all together really make for a stout warranty. Now, I like to tell people these things because these are the reasons that I personally bought a Jayco long before I was selling them, long before I worked at Vaught RV, and long before I was doing videos about them. I bought a Jayco with my own money, so it's not really a sales pitch. I really use my own money, and that's why. We tend to research things a lot at our family, and we landed on a Jayco. So, this is kind of cool. We have a little refrigerator compartment here. This is basically a dorm-sized refrigerator. Now, if you don't want this in here and you would rather have this as storage space, easy peasy. This is just screwed to the platform. You can lift it out, and now you've gained a little storage area. But I have to say, it's pretty nice to have this little drink refrigerator under our awning here, which is 18 feet long. So lots of nice covered patio space on the fun side of the trailer. We're on the fun side. So this is where we grab our beverages, the picnic tables over here, the campfires over here. Now, if you have cable or satellite at your campground and you plugged in on the other side, now we have it over here. So I can pop a TV into this bracket. I have my power for the TV and my coax for the TV as well. And we can have our entertainment on this side. Now down here we have what Jayco calls a J-port. If you want to add a griddle or a grill or something like that, pop this out. This is actually a little receiver that you can put for a cooking platform. And then right under here is your propane quick connect, which makes it super easy to have propane to cook with. And again, you're right under the awning assembly here. Now this is our potable water fill. This is a gravity fill. So if you're going to take this unit out and use it off grid for a while where you won't have fresh water supply, just fill this up with fresh water. I don't recommend filling this up all the time because a load of water is heavy. So put a few gallons in here, enough to wash your hands, flush the toilet or whatever during your trip, and that should be plenty in most cases, unless you're getting ready to go camp off grid. for a while. This is our 6-gallon direct spark ignition water heater assembly. This runs off propane or electricity. And I should say and or, because you can run this on both electric and propane at the same time. If you're in a hurry for hot water, you can turn the gas and electric on at the same time. You'll get water quicker and it will recover a little bit quicker. Under normal use, you'll probably want to just have it on one or the other. When you go on, you're out off grid, don't have power, you'll be using propane. Once you hook up to power at your campground or resort, turn it over to electric and you're not burning propane. Furnace assembly right here. Now, this is a little light switch, which we can't see, but if I toggle that on, there's a blue light underneath the Moride steps that makes it real nice for approaching the camper after dark. Now, these are Moride steps, which are just fantastic. They just stow in like this. That catches. When it's time to deploy the step, simply release it, pull these down. Each one of these legs is adjustable so that if you're on uneven ground, you can adjust that so that you have a good firm contact point with the ground. Really neat, like it on the outside. We do have, of course, power awning. There's an LED strip that's embedded along the entire length of this awning. That's really nice, and you can see our nice exterior speakers up there. So we can push music from our phone through those speakers. So let's go inside and have a peek on the inside of this unit. Okay, now we're on the inside of this 24RL. It's a rear living room floor plan. Besides having a rear living room, we have a nice spacious kitchen with lots of counter space. Remember, we're under 30 feet long, so this is not a long travel trailer, and yet plenty of prep space, plenty of elbow room in here for a couple, maybe even 2 couples, because this is our one slide out. The dinette lives in this small slide out. So once this guy's out, it gives us a little more elbow room. And yet, when the slide comes in, it comes to about where my right foot is, and we can still access the fridge and the sink and all the cabinetry easily, even with the slide in. Now, what I like about this is the TV viewing angle is really great. So room for 2 folks to sit here right across from the TV and have a nice TV viewing angle without craning your neck one way or the other. Now, if you do have guests or grandkids or whatever and you need a place for them to sleep, 2 ways to accomplish that. This converts into a sleeping position by pulling off these cushions. It's a trifold, so just pull this out like so. And now I have a bed here. Just that easy, and you can access it from either side. It's room for 1 adult, 2 if you really like each other, okay? Pop that back up. Trifold this guy right back in place. Pretty easy. So that's one way to have a sleeping position. I can also drop this table down onto these cleats and convert this into a sleeping position. Now, we did a whole separate video on converting dinettes to sleeping positions in our RV Quick Tips with Mike series. If you haven't checked that out, scroll down to our RV Quick Tips channel, playlist actually, on our YouTube channel, and we talk all about that. Speaking of which, if you're watching this, you obviously are if you're hearing me right now, and you have a second to click like and subscribe. We work really hard to bring these videos to you, and if you do that, you'll be the first to know when we post a new video. Now, I've got room for certainly a couple folks, maybe 4 people around this to eat. Again, this table does drop down as needed. We have pleated shades all the way around. Now, we're in a modern farmhouse decor. So Jayco introduced this a couple years ago, and it became so popular that most of the units we order in modern farmhouse. It's so popular, it kind of brightens up the interior of an otherwise relatively small unit. So on the Feather, not only do we have the modern farmhouse solid wood cabinetry, but we have these smoked glass inserts, which is really classy. So always like to point out Jayco's cabinet build. So these are always solid maple drawer fronts and cabinetry. Solid maple instead of particle board wrapped with tape to make it look like wood. This is actual real wood. So we have some storage under here. We have these drawers, which are full extension ball bearing drawer glides. Very nice. And then of course our storage up on top here goes all the way to the end. Now over the sofa, no matter what decor you get, you'll have this darker sort of complementary color of wood grain on the cabinetry away from the kitchen. So we have some storage up top over the sofa area here. Sofa is probably more a love seat, but I'm calling it a sofa. Two lights under here, which you can control individually or from the control panel up there. 3-burner cooktop with backlit controls right here, so you can lift this out for easy cleaning. Drop this down to cover it up, and you'll have some room up here. Fold it back to become a backsplash. Have our little oven down here. Big enough for pizzas and pot pies and smaller items like that. This is a traditional small microwave for rewarming those leftovers and that kind of thing. This is lighted and vented. So we have a range hood that vents to the outside. I really love this backsplash material, which I've pointed out in other videos. This is smooth, even though at first glance it looks 3D and it looks like a tile backsplash. I forgot to point this out. This is neat. Here's a little power tower. So this has your household current as well as USB charging, so you can put your cell phone up there, laptop, maybe you want to have your coffee maker down there. Now this is it's kind of interesting. There is a little space between the love seat and the counter, so you can step in here if you're prepping food. At least you have a lot more counter space than you typically have in a sub 30-foot unit. Now this has a 12-volt refrigerator, freezer compartment on top, and refrigerator on below. Now this is running off 12 volts exclusively. I should do a separate quick tips video on 12-volt appliances just alone, because these are neat. These are much bigger than a traditional RV refrigerator, which run off gas or electric. This is running off 12 volts all the time. You can still dry camp, you can still boondock with this. You just need to be mindful of your battery charge and your status of your batteries. So we have solar on this. You could add more solar panels if you want, but those solar panels are charging your batteries, which are keeping your refrigerator happy. So if you're traveling, want to spend the night sleeping at a rest area or a campground on the way and you don't have hookups, this will continue to run off your 12-volt power. When you're driving going down the road, your truck is sending a charge line to the batteries and this will continue to run. The solar is also sending a trickle charge to your batteries to keep this running. I know I'm using a lot of terminology here on ways to keep your batteries happy, and I can expand on that a little more if you guys come in. But anyway, 12-volt fridge, I'm a fan. Okay, now moving into the hallway entrance coming in here, we do have some storage right immediately when we come into the door, a small compartment below, and then there's a coat closet above, which you can peek around there and get a shot to hang your jackets and your hats and so on. Now we're just going to go in to the bathroom and make a loop around here. So on this unit, the bathroom separates the bedroom from the front, but you can also access the bedroom through the hallway, so you don't have complete separation from the front and back from the bathroom. Now, it's a modest sized little bathroom. Plenty of room to get done what you need to get done in the bathroom here. We have a sink inside the bathroom with a medicine cabinet above and a little storage below. Have our outlet right here for hair dryers and so on. I don't need that, but some people do. Glass shower enclosure. I'm 6 feet tall, average build, plenty of room to take a shower in here. Nice, stylish shower enclosure. A little quick tip, what my wife and I tend to do is after showering, we keep a little squeegee down these glass shower panels, and it keeps them looking really nice and clean and spot free. After every shower, just do that. You'll be glad you did. We have a plastic foot flush commode here, switches here, hanging here for bathrobes and towels and so on. And it is vented up here, so I can you know, get some fresh air moving in here and get those smells out of here, out there. Okay, into the bedroom area. Now we have USB charging ports on either side of the bed. This little switch controls this blue light back there, which might be kind of hard to see in the daylight, but that's a nice night light for when it's pitch black, when you just need a little bit of light. And of course there's regular 110 current on either side. So if you do have a CPAP machine or something, easy enough to plug it in right there. Now I do have storage underneath this bed. So blankets and linens and extra clothes and shoes, easy to toss them down in here. I'm noticing something else that we have here on this unit is tire pressure monitoring. So these little guys are going to go on your valve stems, and you can monitor your tire pressure on this unit, which is a great safety thing. This is the bracket. It's a universal mounting bracket for a TV that you would provide, and you can take that TV out on the patio. Plywood, when you're shopping for RVs, and you should shop around, lift up the mattress and see what you see. Jayco's always going to have plywood on their bed decks, plywood under your feet on the floor, and plywood in the roofing structure. Plywood is stronger, it's more expensive, it does not off-gas like OSB or particle board. It's just a superior building product, especially when it comes to RVs. We have reading lights under here and room to put books and so on. You can turn these on and off individually right here. Now on either side of the bed, I've got a place to hang shirts and so on, duplicate on the other side. Then we do have a little bit of storage up on top as well. Now, we're just kind of making a circle here, opening this door into the main entryway. And Brian, if you want to step in here, I'll point out, here's your solar charge controller. So we do have a 190 watt solar panel up on top right now. It's not very happy because it's trying to charge a battery that's not here yet, but this is going to be sending a charge to your batteries all the time. Think of it as a trickle charger for your batteries. Now this has the J command system right here. You have shortcuts for your lighting right here. You can go through and select all your different options right here, checking your tank levels, your water heater, whether you want to run it on gas or electric. You can do your awning and your slides all from this. Now here's a cool thing. You can put that J command app on your phone and do everything that you can do here from your phone. So we're in a neat little couples camper, again, under 30 feet long, pretty lightweight. We're in the Feather 24RL. It's a neat little camper. I'd love to show it to you in person. If you want to come out, we'll get you hooked up with one of our great sales guys. We're a low pressure environment here. We want to counsel you and help you make the right RV purchase decision. Hopefully sell you your second or third RV first, and so you can make the right decision. So give us a call, email us, come out. Remember, we think that shopping for RVs should be just as fun as using them. So come out and see us, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching our video. If you have any questions or any suggestions on content you'd like to see, leave a comment below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks again from Vaught RV.